Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mr. Rogue here. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day so far. I know I am, because today we're going to be talking about the Super Mario movie that just came out last Wednesday, so it's been about a week. I'm just making this video just to give my general thoughts, just my first impressions on the movie. I've only seen it once. I saw it in a 2D theater, so not in a 4D or a 3D, just a standard 2D, and I've only seen it once. So these are just my general thoughts. I don't have a script ready or anything. I don't really have any notes or anything. I'm just gonna be kind of talking out of my ass, just saying what I thought about the movie, some things I like, some things I didn't like. And yeah, so without further ado, we're just gonna hop straight into it. And before I actually get into it, I do want to say that there will be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie and you care about spoilers, then you could click off now. It is the Mario movie, so there's not really much to spoil when it comes to the actual story. But if you do care for something like that, then I suggest you just click off now. Alright, so my general thoughts on the movie. The best way I can describe this movie, the best way I can summarize this movie is it's a great video game movie, it's a great Mario movie, but it is not a great movie on its own. And I'll go into more depth as to why I think about it like that. So, when it comes to it being a video game movie, for it being a Mario movie, it is amazing because of how many references this movie has. This movie just has a shit ton of references, just so many from across the series. You'll see references from the original Super Mario game to references from the most recent Mario game, like Mario Odyssey and 3D World. You'll just see references from all across the Mario franchise. And the movie is just, if you're a Mario fan, you are really, really going to enjoy this movie because of how many things there are to appreciate about this movie. They just put so many things in this movie for a Mario fan to appreciate, and that's what makes it a great video game movie. But it's not a great movie on its own, and the reason why it's not a great movie on its own is because it's the pacing. The worst part about this movie is that the pacing just sucks. And the reason why the pacing sucks is that the first 20 minutes of the movie, right? During the first 20 minutes of the movie, it's Mario and Luigi, right? And they're in Brooklyn, and they're trying to start this plumbing company, this plumbing service, right? The plumbing service name is Super Mario Bros., right? And during the first 20 minutes of this film, they establish Mario and Luigi's relationship, and they take their time trying to tell the audience Mario and Luigi love each other, because Mario and Luigi have this amazing brotherly love for each other during the movie that is just wonderful to see. And they established that well during the first 20 minutes of the movie. But then, after the first 20 minutes, when Mario and Luigi find the green pipe under Brooklyn, and they go through it, Mario and Luigi get separated, right? And Luigi goes to Bowser's Kingdom, and Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. And from here on out, it's like the movie turns into a Mr. Beast video. It's it just goes by. Every scene goes by so fast. For example, right? When Mario gets sent into the Mushroom Kingdom, he meets up with Toad, right? Toad is there to greet him. And literally their conversation is a minute long, and they try to establish so many things. They try to establish Toad's character. They try to establish, how Bowser is the bad guy of, the Mushroom Kingdom. They try to establish how there's a princess of the Mushroom Kingdom. They try to establish so many things, and they rush so many things. Another example, when Mario meets up with Peach, right? At first, Peach is who are you? Who is this guy? Who is this red-clothed, individual in my presence? And Mario's I don't know you, but I need your help because my brother is, lost. He got trapped by Bowser. And Princess Peach is okay, do this obstacle course, and then we'll be good. And it's kind of just why does Princess Peach trust Mario so fast? She just trusts Mario, so incredibly fast, and their relationship just has no time to develop. Literally, Peach goes from, who are you, to, okay, you can come with me if you could do this obstacle course. It's kind of just why? Take more time to develop their relationship. So then I don't know, like the movie suffers from its pacing. Everything just goes by so fast. It's like this scene is a minute long, and okay, and then go to this scene, and then this scene is like a minute long, and then go, and it's like, bro, like slow down, like establish characters, establish relationships better. Another example that I have, like this movie like literally has like no character development, right? The only scene of kind of character development that we get in this movie is with Mario and Donkey Kong. When Mario and Donkey Kong first meet up with each other, they're rivals, right? They first meet up and they have to fight each other, right? And they're rivals. But after the fight, after Mario defeats Donkey Kong, after he defeats him, they become like friendly rivals. Like they're working together, but like they still like don't really like each other. But they're working together so they can take down Bowser. So, but then during the Mario Kart section of the movie, when they're on Rainbow Road, when they're both on the same cart, they get blue shelled and they fall in the ocean and they get eaten by an eel. And while they're inside the eel, Donkey Kong, they start having like a little bit of an argument. At some point, Donkey Kong says like, well, you don't know what it's like, for your father to always be like disappointed in you. And then Mario's like, well, actually, I do know that. Like, I do know how it feels, for your father to think you're a disappointment all the time. And right here, it seems like we're going to get an emotional moment where these two characters can like, develop and bond with each other. And we can get some actual like relationship development like in this scene. But then after Mario says that, his dad thinks he's a disappointment, Donkey Kong's like, oh yeah, like if I was your dad, I would think you're a disappointment too. And it's like, it's funny, like it's a funny scene and it generally made me laugh. But like this is like the movie's like only time where it actually felt like finally, like we're going to get some character development in this movie. And we don't really get it. Like we don't get it. Like they sacrificed it to make a joke. And it was a good joke, but I would have rather had, legit character development. So because that's like the only scene that we could have gotten character development, but they botched it for a joke, there is no character development in this movie. There is no such thing as character development in this movie. There's no such thing as, relationship development in this movie. They kind of just establish things right away without giving them any time to, breathe. And I just felt like if the movie had, like 30 minutes more of runtime, like if it was a 2-hour movie instead of an hour and a half, like it could have benefited so much from that. It could have taken its time with characters and with certain scenes, and it could have developed characters better. And yeah, it just sucks that they had to rush everything out. I'm not sure if they were low on their budget, like if they were starting to get to their limit on their budget, so they had to like limit how much content they could put in this movie. But all I'm saying is that if they had just a little bit more time in the movie, just a little bit more runtime, the movie could have benefited so much more from that. Another thing I want to talk about is, I already mentioned it, but Mario and Luigi's brother relationship. The best part about this movie is Mario and Luigi's relationship. It's a shame that Luigi gets captured so early into this movie, because we don't see a lot of Mario and Luigi moments in this movie. We only see them at the beginning and at the end, because during the middle, Luigi's captured by Bowser. And it sucks because the best part of this movie is when Mario and Luigi are together. Like, just seeing them, love each other, just like their bond with each other, their connection is just so heartwarming. Anytime they were both on the screen, I had a smile on my face, because like the way they interact with each other as brothers, you could just tell that they love each other so much, and it's so heartwarming to see, because these two characters just bond with each other. Like, we've never really had this much bonding between Mario and Luigi in the games, other than like the Mario and Luigi series. Like, there's a series of games called Mario and Luigi, and those are the only times where we ever get like, dialogue, like, deep dialogue with those two characters. But other than that, like, we don't really get to see, them interact with each other as, brothers. And in this movie, they finally give us, their brotherly love. They finally show their brotherly love to us. And it's just generally really heartwarming stuff. And my favorite moment about this movie, like literally my favorite part of this movie, is when Luigi, right? They're in Brooklyn, right? Bowser and Mario, they're in Brooklyn. They're fighting in Brooklyn. And Bowser is about to, like, Mario has to go get the superstar, and Bowser is about to, like, kill Mario, like, literally turn him into ash with his fire. Bowser, you know, he breathes fire, but then Luigi comes in, like, at the right second and gets, like, a manhole cover and covers Mario from the flame. And it's such a heartwarming moment because throughout the movie, right, we get flashbacks to Mario always, like, protecting Luigi. Like, when, like, Luigi would get bullied in school or whatever, Mario would protect him. When, you know, Luigi would get attacked by, like, a dog or something, Mario would protect him. Like, Mario is always the person, like, protecting Luigi, helping Luigi, supporting Luigi. And now this is, like, Luigi's time to finally support Mario. This is finally Luigi's time to shine and, you know, help Mario, you know, in his time of need. And he helps Mario, and he gets a manhole cover, and he covers Bowser's fire. And it's such a raw shot. Like, it's so fucking raw to just see, like, Luigi just, you know, holding the fire back, just trying his absolute best to hold the fire back, you know, and protect his brother. And this is my absolute favorite part. Mario is right there next to the superstar, right? Mario could easily just, like, reach out for the superstar, grab it, you know, go superstar mode, and then, you know, just beat up Bowser. But instead, what they do is, instead of Mario just going for the superstar, he reaches out for Luigi, and he grabs Luigi's hand, and they both reach for the superstar, and they both get it. And it's just so fucking raw to see Mario and Luigi, these two brothers that love each other so much, just fuck shit up in Brooklyn, bro. They just fuck up Bowser so bad. It's so raw. The animation was so good during this scene. The cinematography, just everything about this scene right here, I love. It was my favorite part of the movie. And I really hope whenever we do get, like, a Mario Bros. 2 movie, we need more Mario and Luigi moments, because we were robbed of Mario and Luigi moments, you know, throughout the entire movie. I get why they made Luigi, like, the person who was captured instead of Peach, because if Mario and Luigi went to the Mushroom Kingdom, right, and their goal was to save the Mushroom Kingdom and save Peach, they don't really have a motivation. Like, they don't know what the hell the Mushroom Kingdom is. They don't know who the hell Peach is, and they don't really care. They just want to get back to their world. But because Luigi is captured by Bowser, Mario's like, okay, well, now I have to help Princess Peach, you know, defeat Bowser so I can get my brother back. So I get why they made it so that Mario and Luigi are, you know, separated throughout the entire movie. Because if they didn't do that, then, you know, Mario's motivation, there would be no motivation for Mario to help Peach. But all I'm saying is we need more Mario and Luigi moments if they make a sequel. Because those were the best moments. The best moments of the movie was when Mario and Luigi was on screen. Alright, another thing I want to talk about are the voice performances. I don't think the voice performances were bad. I thought every voice actor either did a good job or a great job. I was most worried about, and I think everyone was most worried about, but I was most worried about Chris Pratt being Mario. But I gotta say, other than the first 5 minutes of the movie when I was, like, hyper judging, you know, his voice acting, I didn't really see a problem with Chris Pratt's voice. Like, whenever Mario would open his mouth throughout the movie, I wouldn't think of Chris Pratt. Like, I would just think, oh yeah, that's Mario's voice. Like this is what Mario sounds like. Like, it didn't bother me throughout the entire movie that Chris Pratt was voicing Mario. Chris Pratt actually does a good job as Mario. He kind of, you know, he has that Brooklyn accent, but he kind of, you know, throws in a little bit of Italian here and there every once in a while. I think Chris Pratt, I think what they did in the trailers with Chris Pratt's line, they must have chosen, like, the worst lines for Chris Pratt, like, in the trailers, because in the actual movie, he's really not bad. Like, he is not that bad of a Mario. He does a good job. He didn't do a fantastic job. He could have done better, but it's a serviceable job. Like, he does a good job as Mario, and I wasn't bothered by his voice. Everybody else, Jack Black as Bowser, you know, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anna Taylor-Joy as Peach, they all do a fantastic job. I think every voice actor in this movie either did a good job or a great job. There was no voice actor that did bad. There was no voice actor that I thought, like, oh yeah, like that guy, like, you know, whoever voice acted that character, like, did not do a good job. No, I think every character is voice acted pretty well in this movie, which is kind of surprising. I thought this movie was going to, you know, be so bad because of how many celebrities they had in the cast, but I gotta say, I didn't mind. I thought the voice performances were pretty good. All right, next thing I want to talk about is the music for this movie. Now, when the movie uses original music from the games, right? When they use like orchestral versions of the original music from the games, it is amazing. It sounds amazing. I loved when the movie would use music from the games. But too many times, this movie uses songs from the 80s specifically. Like, they use like third-party songs. They use like copyrighted songs in this movie way too frequently. Like, they use Thunderstruck in this movie. They use Take On Me. They use Mr. Blue Sky. There's too many 80s songs in this movie. And they put them in play. Like, sometimes there were a couple times where like the songs like impacted like the scene in a good way. Like, it didn't feel like they didn't feel out of place. But there were a lot of times where they were playing 80s songs, and it's like, why are they playing this? Like, why aren't they using a song from, you know, the Mario franchise? Like, I don't want to hear these songs that I've heard 2 million times in movies. I want to hear songs from, you know, the video game of the movie I'm watching. I don't give a shit about, you know, Take On Me or Thunderstruck. I've heard those songs billions of times in movies. I want to hear original music from the games, you know, from the video game that you're basing this movie on. I don't want to hear, like, you know, third-party songs. And like I said, like, sometimes the third-party songs worked. Sometimes, you know, they worked and benefited the scene. But a lot of other times, it just feels out of place. And it's just kind of like, why do they feel the need to use these songs? You have a huge library of songs to choose from across this franchise, and you're using these songs. And it just kind of feels like they use those songs just so that the people who don't know Mario can have a good time. Like, Take On Me, they didn't choose that song because Mario fans would love it. They choose that song because the general audience would love it. And I get you gotta please the general audience, like, you gotta please the parents that are there with their kids. But, like, why? They did it too often. I get it if you did it once or twice, but they did it like 5 times in the movie, 6 times in the movie. And it's like, this is way too much. This is too much third-party stuff. We want to hear original songs. All right, last thing I want to talk about is the animation. Nobody, I don't think anybody had a doubt that the animation and the visuals would look bad. Everyone knew, like, this is Illumination we're talking about, right? The creators of Despicable Me, Secret Life of Pets and stuff like that. And I know those movies aren't like super critically acclaimed, but they have good visuals. And just looking at the trailers, we all knew that this movie was gonna look gorgeous, and it did. All, like, you know, the action scenes just looked splendid. Like, especially that part where they're racing through Rainbow Road it's just so cool to just. It looks fantastic. The movie just looks fantastic from beginning to end. It doesn't matter whether they were in Brooklyn or they were in the Mushroom Kingdom, or it doesn't matter where they were. The movie just looked brilliant. It just looked amazing. And yeah, those are all my genuine thoughts on the movie. There's probably some things I forgot to cover that, like, I'm gonna upload this video and I'm gonna be like, oh crap, I forgot to cover this and this and this. But like I said, I don't really have a script in front of me. I don't have notes. This is kind of just me talking out of my ass, just saying what I want to say, just saying what comes to mind. So yeah, that's just my review of the movie. You're definitely going to enjoy this movie based on how much of a Mario fan you are. The bigger Mario fan you are, the more you're going to like this movie. If you're not that big of a Mario fan, you're probably going to think the movie's pretty mid, it's pretty mediocre, and it's whatever. But if you're a pretty big Mario fan, then you're going to like it because of all the references and all the, you know, the scenes to appreciate and stuff like that. And yeah, so for me personally, I'd give the movie an 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a really, really solid video game adaptation movie. As a genuine movie, just like a movie by itself, it's probably like a 5 or a 6. But as a video game movie, I'd give it like an 8.5 out of 10. But anyways, guys, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all later. I am out.